Hey guys, welcome back to Critical Flick. Today we're going to be talking about Downton Abbey.
As you know, Downton Abbey, the series ended a few years ago, but they are back with a feature-length film. Bringing the Grantham's back, a lot of returning characters. We are going back into Downton Abbey. And yeah, the king and queen are about to show up.
Yeah, I pretty much love this movie from the beginning. It just picked up right after the season finale of the last series. And yeah, it's been some time, but you didn't feel like there was time lost.
Yeah, I always thought that was going to be a hard thing for this film, with it happening a couple years after the show, that maybe I wouldn't be as invested in the characters. It wouldn't hit back on those same beats. But it goes right back into it. The actors fall right back into their roles, and it just feels so natural. It feels like we never left, honestly. So a character that I really liked from the series, Branson, is back, and he has a large role in this movie. He's actually kind of a thread that moves the whole story along, honestly. He goes around, he's talking to the different characters, and it's slowly moving all the individual plot lines apart. And I just thought he was really interesting, and you do get to see him have his own special little moment, and I think at the end of the movie, that was one of my favorite moments in the whole thing.
Yeah, I really, really like his character. I really liked his character as the series, progressed and went on. I like how they explored Thomas's sexuality in this movie as well. It was always hinted in the series, but this time they took it a step further, and you see that he's going to like a nightclub and everything. And he meets one of the royals' valets, and they have a connection, and I really like that part in the movie.
I thought the movie did a pretty good job of giving each of the main characters their own little special moments. It didn't feel like it was too bloated, but didn't feel it left out anybody. So I like that, and I also like that it struck a pretty good balance between dealing with the royals and the Grantham side of life, and then the servant side. The show's always been good at doing that, and I think the movie did an exceptional job of
You
that.
care about each and every character in this series,
Yeah.
and that's very rare. There's so many characters, but you're invested in each storyline, and it still carries on from the series. I keep saying that, but like the characters are the same, and it just flows nicely.
It's also really nice to see Carson back in the house as the head butler. I don't know, something about his demeanor, it really brings something to the show. I was just talking to Noelle about this. I don't understand how I find the show so entertaining. At its core, it's about, the nuances and the regality of royalty and, duchesses and stuff. But I don't know, I just really like it. And something about his character works really well.
I also thought this movie was very funny, and it was funny in like this a good way. It's not stupid funny.
Well, yeah, it's very witty.
Yes, and Lady Grantham steals the show for me. Maggie Smith is so great as this character, and her littlest comebacks on everyone is just great. I love that.
She always added a little something special on the show when she would pop up, and she kind of just roasted everybody. And she does it in this movie, and it just works really well. And there's also a very, very touching moment with her and Mary towards the end of the film. So you do get to see more of her lighthearted side, which I think was a little special thing to throw in the film.
Yeah, and it wasn't in your face. I just like how they did it, and it just went along with the story.
Yeah, exactly. And one thing, like Noelle said about dealing with Thomas's sexuality, is that this show kind of does deal with some of the political issues of the time period. You have Edith and her husband's, supposed to be leaving because the king wants him to go on this mission, and the king maybe doesn't respect her opinion as a woman, so you get a little bit of that. You're dealing, obviously, with the sexuality, and then you also deal with an assassination plot in the film. And then that, is throwing into the whole political turmoil of that time period. So I always like that. Just a little something extra for people that want a little bit more than just royal housewives, basically.
Yeah, they throw in history throughout the show. So each time, like, they're showing the cars are being sold. They're showing radios playing. Like, each time throughout the whole series, something new's happening. They incorporate that in the show.
It's always been so immersive, and they do such a good job in just creating a setting. Obviously, everyone knows the costuming's excellent. Just the whole set work of everything, the look of Downton Abbey itself, it works really well, and this is no exception. It looks, I think, even just a little bit better in the movie, with a little bit higher budget and a little more focus.
And, of course, we cannot mention the theme song. It's just amazing.
Yeah, this show has always had a really good soundtrack, and the movie picks up right on that. It just really hits when you hear that theme. You just feel like you're back in Downton Abbey, so I thought it was really enjoyable.
So I'd give this movie an 8 out of 10. I really love this. It picks off right after the show. You don't skip a beat. You go back to these characters' lives, and I just loved it. I don't know. There's just something about Downton. They really knew how to work every character. The storylines were always very consistent, and I think they did a good job.
I would actually give this movie an 8.5 out of 10. I thought it was an exceptionally good movie. I understand how you might have a criticism of it being basically a long episode of Downton Abbey, but it felt nice. It felt special. I do agree it doesn't have really its own individual story, and you have to basically watch the series to really enjoy it to its full effect. But as a fan of Downton Abbey, I thought it was really good and a really good effort by the whole team putting it together. And I hope we get more Downton Abbey in the future.
I know, it's just like keep them coming.
Yeah.
All right, so this sums up our review of Downton Abbey. Let us know in the comments down below what you thought. Did you enjoy the series when it was on? Were you excited to see this movie? Let us know. Remember to like and subscribe because we always appreciate your support, and see you next time.